Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another achievement guide for Avowed. In this video, we are going to unlock the Pillars of Eternity achievement. You get 30 gamer score for cleansing all of the Strangled Adra across all regions. And this one's actually pretty easy. There are 5 total pillars that you need to find and cleanse, and there is one of them in each area of the game. So there's the 4 starting areas that you progress through in order: Dawnshore, Emerald Stair, Shatterscarp, and Galawain's Tusks. And then there's one in the final area of the game, the last quote-unquote dungeon area. And so I'll throw a minor spoiler tag here. If you don't want to know anything about the game, I don't know why you're watching an achievement guide, but I will be showing some of that final area. I'm not going to discuss any story or anything like that, but there could be some story-based, location-based light spoilers based on that last location. Part of what makes these so easy to find is that they do show up on the map with their own little icon when you get close enough to them. So you don't have to kind of hunt and find them exactly. If you're doing everything, if you're going everywhere, you're mostly going to find these. There's 1 or 2 that are a little bit tricky, that are off the beaten path, but there is some relief here in that they'll pop onto the map when you get in their vicinity. The first pillar can be found in the Dawnshore, and you want to start very close to the exit location for this area. There's a travel beacon that's right by the big gateway that you go through to leave this area and go to the Emerald Stair. That's where you want to start, and you can actually see the pillar from this location. If you turn around and look up, it's on that cliff. This is probably one of the more difficult ones to actually get to, even though you can see it very easily. You have to follow the path that I'm going to show you, going through a cave and then working your way up and through some ruins, and there are some very light puzzle elements blocking your path. You need to flip a switch which shoots these electric bolts out of dispensers that are on the wall, and the receivers for those dispensers are blocked by rubble or some other obstruction that you need to clear. So you have to find them, clear the rubble, fire the lever which shoots the electricity into the receivers to open a door and progress. And I think there's 2 there. I show you the location of the shooter, of the receiver, and of the lever so that you can follow this through. And then when you find the pillar, all you have to do in order to cleanse it is interact with it with a button prompt. Very straightforward. The second pillar can be found in the Emerald Stair. It's just south of the Sunken Village and just north of Tama's cabin. It's a little bit tricky to get to because it's kind of up on a cliffside. The first approach that I take and show in the video here is starting at the Plateau Junction beacon. That actually starts you up above where the pillar is, and then you can jump down the cliffs to get to the pillar. I thought that one was pretty easy to do. It's a little bit tricky to find the exact location. You might miss the first time, and then you can go back and get it the second time. If you fast travel to that location, that's very easy to do. But then I do show you, after I cleanse the pillar, I go down the rest of the way, and there is a ramp and walkway. If you start down on the base floor near Tama's cabin, you can go up this ramp and climb a few ledges and get to the pillar that way as well. So you can pick whichever one is more convenient for you based on where you are in the game. The third pillar is found in Shatterscarp. You want to start at the Third Born party camp. So this is the party camp that's just north outside of the big city of Thirdborn. And then you're going to head east. We are going to the Broken Cavern Rock. And again, this is one that you will see and then have to figure out how to get to. It is up on a little bit of a plateau, raised above where you are. You're going to go into this big cavern with 2 big rock pillars on the side. You want to go in, sweep to the right, and then you're going to climb up some ledges, and you'll have to bend around through a cave and then make a pretty big jump onto the platform that houses the Adra Pillar. Make sure you bring a source of fire with you. You will need to clear a couple of webs out of the way on the path to the Adra Pillar. The fourth pillar is found in Galawain's Tusks, and this is probably the easiest of all of them to get. You want to start right near the entrance to this area. You're at the Shallow Step Party Camp. Again, it's the first one you come into right when you enter the area, and you're just going to go a little bit east. There is some combat in this little side path. It's not too difficult. It's just some Zorbs. Clear them out, and then there's a very easy to find path that kind of winds up a very small ledge, and the Adra Pillar is up top there. This one is very quick and very easy to get. The final pillar is found in the last area of the game. This is that slight spoiler alert once again. It's found in the garden, and this is after the point of no return. So make sure you have the 4 previous Adra Pillars cleansed before you progress past the point of no return and enter the garden, because if you missed one, you can't go back later after being in the garden and get them. So make sure you have the other 4, and then when you're in the garden, you can get the 5th one to unlock and get the achievement. The path to this pillar, we're going to start at the enclosed grove party camp. This is very early on in the area. There's some light combat in an upper area. You jump down into a pool of water and find the first party camp, and then that's kind of where the last push through this area begins. And there are some paths that you can unlock that wind back and create shortcuts here. So this is kind of your hub before you push to, I think there's one last party camp at the very end of the level before you do the kind of final end game push. But I'll start here because this is an easily recognizable landmark, and you just need to progress through the area pretty far for most of the level. And you're gonna go through some combat areas, you're gonna climb some stairs. The area is, again, it's pretty linear with just a couple of offshoots. If you reach a dead end, just go back and pick the other way. There aren't a lot of options here. And again, I'm showing you the path to take. There are some big, heavy combat missions that will happen, and you will continue to progress. When you get into a pool of water and duck down, there'll be a little break in one of the pillars. You'll swim through the break and come up, and then there's 2 ways to go. There's a location marker, like the, hey, progress here to continue the story. Don't do that. You want to go, if you come out of this little tunnel, it's to the left, and you'll need to do a hop from the water onto a frozen lily pad, which you need to provide. There is one of the Eye of Rimgrind, I think, on the wall, so you can shoot that. It'll create the little ice lily pad. You can jump on and climb up to a ledge that you need to. If you miss that one or don't make it, have one of the frost grenades. You can throw that on the water to create your little lily pad. Hit that, jump on that, climb the ledge, and then you're just gonna go up and around, and you'll be up high over this little valley area, which is the way you're supposed to progress. You're gonna be up above that, and you'll work away around a ledge to that final Adra Pillar. And this is a great place to be to avoid some combat if you have ranged abilities, especially if you use any of the gun weaponry. You can kind of rain fire down from up here and clear a lot of some difficult combat in one of these final areas of the game. But that's it. You get this 5th pillar. They're worth a lot of XP, so they're worth getting for the achievements, but also for leveling up your character, reaching level cap, which is another achievement in the game. Highly recommended, pretty easy to do, especially if you know the path where they're all laid out for you. So that's gonna wrap this one up. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.